Good evening, guys. Tony back again, Horror in Todge. So, it's a day before Valentine's Day here, the 13th of February in the UK. So, I thought I'd put together a bit of a list for you. 10 Valentine's Day horror films I think you should watch. So, these are not necessarily in any order or anything like that. So, I'm just going to reel off 10 films that have got either a romantic feel or something in the title that sort of, love or something like that, or some of the very well known sort of Valentine's Day horror films. There's some of them in there, and there's some not so well known films that I think you should check out, So it's this time of year, middle of February. I think everyone should at least check out these films once because I like all these films. I think they're really good. It's just a list I've come up with off the top of my head. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. I'll get straight into it. I won't go. I'm just going to reel off 10 films. So it's not going to be in number 10 or number 9. So we'll just get straight in for the first one. And happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hope you all get what you like. But coming in first, guys, first film I'm going to talk about is The Loved Ones from 2010. Now, this is an Australian film. Obviously, the Valentine's Day bit is in the title, The Loved Ones. It's about this young guy who's in this car accident. Something tragic happens to a family member, and he sort of spirals out of control on like marijuana and stuff, and just he's been a bit of a jerk. And his girlfriend, who's at college or something with him, asks him to come to prom with her, and he sort of denies her, and then it spirals out of control there. I'm not going to get into it, guys. If you've seen this film, you'll know what I'm on about. Terrific Australian film, great atmosphere, and there's some brutal stuff in this with, it just absolutely spirals out of control in a way that you don't think it's gonna happen. You've sort of got like someone running around wielding syringes, drills, and it gets really mental. But yeah, The Loved Ones is definitely one I'd recommend for Valentine's Day if that's your thing. But yeah, that's the first one I wanted to talk about, guys. The Loved Ones. I'm not going to really get into too much detail in this because I want you to check the films out. So the second one I'm going to talk about, guys, is a film from 2016 from Guillermo del Toro, Crimson Peak, another sort of gothic love story, and it stars Jessica Chesterton and Tom Hiddleston. And basically, this one, like I say, it's sort of got a really gothic feel about it, and it's about this guy who's a scientist played by Tom Hiddleston, and he's sort of running out of money, and he needs more money, so he marries this well-to-do lady, and her family are against it, and her father, and he ends up taking her back to her to his English sort of mansion, which all dilapidated and everything. And there's sort of lots of sort of mystery to this sort of house, and there's ghosts wandering the corridors, and it's a bit of a love story, but it's got some of the best cinematography in this film. It gets a lot of crap, this film, but I really enjoy it. I know there's a bit of CGI that I'm not a big fan of, but I think the set design, costume design, and I think the acting's really good. It's some of the best I've seen, for cinematography and stuff. I love Del Toro's work, and I just think it's a great sort of film to watch at Valentine's Day if you haven't seen it. So that's Crimson Peak, guys. I'm not going to get too much into it. The next one I want to talk about is a film from 1999, a film from Takeshi Miike, so a Japanese film called Audition. So this one's about this guy, and he's widowed, and he's looking for a new wife, and he sort of comes up with this idea, him and his cousin, or he employs someone to sort of audition for his next wife. So all these auditions take place, and he's looking after his kid, trying to bring him up, and he's struggling a bit. So all these auditions take place, and he ends up marrying this woman who's sort of not as she seems. And again, like The Loved Ones, this takes a brutal turn with lots of twists and turns and some real hard-hitting stuff. It's not what you think it's going to be. If you've seen the film, you'll know what I'm on about. I know there's a lot of Japanese horror lovers like me, and I think it's a great film, Audition. So definitely one to watch on Valentine's Day again, guys. So my fourth film is going to be a film from 2016. I know some people don't like this. I'm a big fan. You know that. It's It Follows. This has got a really cool 80s feel about it. Almost, I don't know, some of the cinematography, excuse me, reminds me of that, you know, the original Halloween with the suburban sort of streets and stuff. I just think it's really cool, amazing soundtrack. And this one's about a girl who sleeps with a guy, youngish girl, and let's say she gets a sexual transmitted disease like no other. So, yeah, there's a lot of It Follows. It's in the title. There's a lot of you know, chasing and trying to get away from whatever's following her, and there's sort of different aspects of love and friendship in this film that I think, you know, serves a Valentine's Day purpose. But yeah, really good film. Some really creepy moments in this. Just one that always sticks in my mind. You know, if this happened to you, how you get away from this sort of, I don't know, like an entity is yeah, really strange to think about. But yeah, definitely give It Follows a go, guys, if you haven't seen it. But I love it. So my next film I'm going to talk about is Valentine from 2001. I had to put that one in there. Even though it isn't the greatest film in the world, it's a teen slasher in the vein of, you know, urban legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, all spawning from Scream in the late 90s. And this is early 2000s. This is about these four guys, and they start around Valentine's Day. They get these morbid Valentine's Day cards, and it's sort of about something that sort of happened in their past that they're trying to forget about. And then you've got this, like I say, it's in the title, it's a slasher, so it's that teen slasher moment. There's someone in like a Cupid mask, you know, Cupid with a bow, and he's going around killing people. So that's the Valentine. It's actually, it was brought out near Valentine's Day in 2001. And yeah, it's just in the vein of a teen slasher. Not the greatest, but a cool one to watch on Valentine's Day. I had a good time with it, guys. So definitely check that one out, Valentine's Day. Next film I'm going to talk about is a film from 1970, Hammer Productions film. And again, it's in the title. It's called The Vampire Lovers. So this stars a beautiful Ingrid Pitt, who is probably the best looking vampire you will ever see. Yeah, it's about this vampire, and she falls in love with this girl in a local village, but she has to she takes her hostage and keeps her in a dungeon. Then you've got this Baron, played by Peter Cushing, who not accidentally, just he hears a vampire hunter. So that's what happens. It takes place, and he's sort of going through, you know, trying to find this girl who's been captured. And there's lots of, like, you know, lesbian sex scenes, very 70s, you know. But yeah, like I say, for Valentine's Day, I love the film. The Vampire Lovers. I love Hammer horror films. Peter Cushing's great in this. Like I say, the women vampires are really scantily clad, and you know, they're just it's a really cool one to watch on Valentine's Day. I love it. So that's the Vampire Lovers, guys. The next one I'm going to talk about is a film from, I think it was 2018. This one by Ali Abzey, the guy who wrote, who brought us Let the Right One In. So it's a Swedish film. And this one is a bit of a, I suppose it's a horror fantasy drama. There is a couple of horror elements in there, so I will talk about this. And it's called Border. Like I say, it's a Swedish film about this woman called Tina, who's sort of a customs officer, and she's got like a heightened sense of smell, and she looks really weird in the face. And she comes across this guy called Björg, or Borg, or something like that. Very Swedish name. And he sort of looks very similar to her. He's got the same sort of features in her face. And you're thinking, what's happening here? And they sort of rekindle this sort of a love story, a romance. And it's just a really strange story of these two. I'm not going to give the twist away because there is a massive twist halfway through this. And, you know, you don't know what's happening. And it tells you, you know, it goes into detail what these people are. And she like lives in the woods, and she's just a loner, and no one sort of likes her. She grunts at everything. She's a bit, but when she falls in love with this guy, he's a similar sort of character, and they sort of hit it off. And it's just a great sort of love story with some horror elements through in there, and like a bit of a backstory, not a backstory, a side story where the police are sort of chasing this sort of criminal gang. And then there's all sorts of bits and pieces going off in this. Beautiful music again. Cinematography is fantastic, and great location in Sweden. And there is the weirdest sex scene you will ever see in a film. In this film, it's yeah. When you know, you know. If you've seen this film, you'll know what I'm on about. It's just absolutely bonkers. So yeah, that's Border, guys. Definitely check that one out for Valentine's Day if you're into a sort of romance with a bit of a twist. The next one I'm going to talk about, guys, we've got a couple left, is The Invitation from 2015. If you haven't seen this one, I think you can get it on some sort of platform like Amazon Prime or Netflix or something. I think that's where I watched it. It's about this guy and his sort of girlfriend who get an invitation from his ex-wife to go to this sort of dinner party, and he's just trying to talk his girlfriend into it. It'll be good. We'll clear the air. She's got another husband now. She's married, this big suburban house, really nice. And when they get in there, there's lots of other guys at this dinner party, and it's just all a little bit. As soon as they get there, there's something off. Even the viewers, you just think there's something not right here. It's too nicey. It's too, it's just really strange, and it all spirals out of control. It's a mad ride to the end. It's sort of, I was thinking, is it sort of satanic? You got that sort of feel, or is it something different? But you'll have to watch it to find out. It's just an absolutely mad ride, guys. But yeah, like I say, the couple thing, the invitation, it's sort of, man and wife with a new girlfriend. It sort of all ties into sort of Valentine's Day theme as I'm going for. So I thought that'd be a good one to watch. So if you haven't seen The Invitation, I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything. But it's great. Again, great cinematography, I thought. And the acting was really good. Say it wouldn't be the biggest budget in the world. I just thought the lighting was fantastic. It's just, yeah, a great film, The Invitation, if you haven't seen it. And then my last film, guys, I had to put it in there. An 80s slasher, one of the best in my opinion. My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Now this has got a remake, My Bloody Valentine 3D. I think it's like 90s or 2009 or something. Not as good, not a patch on the original. The original, like I say, from 1981. You got this guy called Harry Warden. He comes back 20 years after this sort of mining fatality in this town, and he comes back to sort of seek revenge on these guys. And it's just a basic slasher from the 80s, but there's some great sort of practical effects in this. And I do like Harry Warden's character with the mining suit, the gas mask and the overalls, and he's got wielding a pickaxe, and great, like I say, great gore, great cheesy 80s fun. But yeah, really cool, guys. Really brilliant film. Probably the best one to watch on Valentine's Day if you want to watch something. My Bloody Valentine, 1981. But all these films are terrific in their own right. I loved them all. So yeah, get in the comments, guys. Tell me if you've seen any of these. What you think of them. What you think of this list. Yeah, just fire questions at me. Yeah, I hope you like the video, guys. So like I say, happy Valentine's Day. I've been Tony. I'll catch you all for the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.